Wow, I'll do that. Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I guess I'll jump right into it. I was just trying to fry up these eggs because it is a standard kind of accompaniment to this dish, but you don't have to do it. Normally, I'm too lazy to do it, but I'm trying to show off, so I'm gonna try to do it. So the Thai style eggs, actually, I can show you when I cooked. One of them did not come out that good. One of them came out okay. This block is for recording purposes, but I don't know if you could see it's crispy on the edges. Ah, this one broke. This one broke too. Okay, I didn't do a great job. But they're basically like deep fried eggs. So I got my wok over here. I don't know who's cooking with a wok, but I put a decent amount of oil in it. And
which kind of oil are you using for just the eggs?
I'm just using vegetable oil.
Okay.
You can use avocado oil. I usually use avocado oil.
Okay.
Or peanut oil you could use. And then I like to crack it into a bowl. I don't know, it seems a little safer when I pour it into the hot wok. Yeah, so I'm gonna let this heat up again. It should be pretty hot. It's actually a little bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, did any of you guys do the first cooking class? I don't think so. Oh, you did, yeah. Wait, not just the last one, but the first one, which was.
Oh yeah, I wasn't here.
I remember the first one.
Oh, Andy was there. Yeah, the egg. It was basically the egg Thai salad. Yeah. So I did the same thing for that. This shouldn't take too long because it was already pretty hot. And then I'll go into the actual dish. This is kind of like extra credit, I guess. Here. All right, here we go. Try not to burn myself. So it should bubble. I don't know if you can see that. Bubble and spit and burn around the edges. I usually ladle some oil on top as I'm cooking it. Ironically, my Dominican grandmother, she didn't cook in a wok, but when she made fried eggs, it was very similar. It'd be all crispy and bubbly. It's not necessarily healthy, I don't think, but it's good. I like the texture.
So you're not flipping it, rather like you're putting the hot oil on top, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no flipping. You shouldn't, excuse me. You shouldn't even move it for a little bit because it'll stick. So I usually wait. I don't even move it around, and then after a minute or two, you can kind of slide it around like that. All right, this one's almost done. I don't know, the other egg yolk broke pretty easily, but I'm gonna call this done in about 20 seconds here.
Wait, JP, are we supposed to be doing our eggs right now, or are you just like doing a demo?
You can do the eggs before or after, or not at all. So totally up to you. I think Heather said she was gonna do hers after,
Right,
which
cool,
is fine. It'll be a little bit fresher that way, I guess. But, my wife is doing the camera work here, thank you. All right, I'm gonna call this one done. Let me grab the strainer. And then we'll start the actual dish. Let's see if I can do this without burning myself.
Is that egg doable on like an electric stove?
I think so. You just want your, thanks. You just want your oil pretty hot.
Got it.
So, all right. Let me move my, this is my son's like plaything, so let me put it over here. All right, thank you. Well, my wife's holding the thing for me. All right, now I can really start. All right, cool, yeah, let me bring up my notes too. So, few questions. How many people have had this dish before? Pad Gaprow or spicy basil? Cool. Nice. Technically, so I call it Pad Gaprow, but it's not really, because unless you're using holy basil, you shouldn't really call it Pad Gaprow, because Gaprow means holy basil. So that's why sometimes I just call it spicy Thai basil or something like that. The thing is, it's so hard to find holy basil. I've been trying for so long. I'm trying to grow it. It's not growing that well. The Thai basil grows really easy. The holy basil, for some reason, it's hard to find. So even at a lot of restaurants in LA, they probably use Thai basil, unless they're super legit, which I have yet to find one that.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie's here.
Whoa, hold on.
Oh. Hi. Oh, she's so cute.
Oh, welcome back. Oh,
Ah, hi, Marley.
Are you gonna cook with us?
No. I've only got one hand, so
Yeah. You don't want to deep fry eggs while holding.
I do not.
Yeah, I was just talking about the dish. Anyways, like I said before, there's a lot of optional ingredients. The reason I made them optional is because this dish is like super common in Thailand, and there's so many variations. The analogy I like to use is like it's kind of like burgers in America. Like it's very common to find, and there's a wide range of, McDonald's or In-N-Out, and then like something like Father's Office where they use the fancy, ingredients, and or like what was it, that place Islands Burger that has like Hawaiian burgers with pineapples, and so there's not like one definitive recipe, but this is the one that I cook that I've been experimenting with and trying to like get that nostalgic feeling for Thailand when I eat it. So this is my nostalgic version of it. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, everybody got your meat out of the fridge, kind of warming up. Cool. Rice cooking. Everybody got rice cooking, hopefully, if you're eating it. You don't have to cook eggs. Picking your basil now would be good while you listen, or if not, you can try to do it. The thing is, you can try to do it later, but the thing is, for any kind of stir fry, all the work is in the prep, because once you start cooking, it's like bam, bam, bam. Everything should be ready and prepped, and everything should be by the stove, and you shouldn't be like doing anything last minute, because I mean we're cooking on an indoor burner. I'm not going to use the high BTU burner, so we have a little bit more leeway because it's not as hot. But especially if you got a hot burner, you don't want to be like looking for stuff or picking basil while you're cooking it, because it'll burn for sure.
What do you mean by picking basil?
So the basil should have came on stems, but I took. Well,
Oh, just like taking them off. I didn't know if we were like
Are you gonna
selecting
chop the basil,
specific
JP, or
ones.
just like whole leaves off the stem?
I like to leave it whole, or if it's like really big, that's not really big, but if it's maybe bigger than that, you might want to tear it. I don't usually chop it. I leave it whole for sure, if possible. I saw a recipe. I did some research, like looking at other people's recipes, and there's a lot of things I don't like about other people's recipes. And one was this guy like shredded it really finely. Does it taste different? Probably not that different, but it's meant to be whole. Yeah, so here's the basic. Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm looking at my tips. The basic order is, just so you know ahead of time, I'm gonna put the oil in the pan. Wait, who here is using a wok? Not that it matters, but is anybody using a wok? Okay, yeah, all right.
A wok pan.
Pan, cool. Some of these tips might be a little more specific to wok. Some of them are very generic to any kind of stir fry. But basically, we're gonna make a paste with garlic and chilies, and my addition to it is some ginger. So a rough paste. Also, is anybody using a mortar and pestle? Probably not, but I saw Diana, you have one. Are you gonna use it? Okay, cool. You don't have to. I'll tell you how to do it without it, but we're gonna make a rough paste. We're gonna fry it in the oil first on a lower temperature, and you're gonna really start to smell the garlic and oil and chilies. Then you add in the meat, you add in your spices, you add in your sauce, you add in your vegetables, and then you turn the heat off once it's cooked, and you throw in your basil at the end, and then you're done. So let's start by making, another important aspect to this is the accompanying sauce that comes with it. This to me is one of the most important parts. It's the thing that takes it to that next level because I've made it without it before. And it's the super simple, it's one of the simplest Thai sauces I've ever made. It's at its base, it's just fish sauce and chilies. That's it. You just take actually, so can you give me that little mason jar? And there's no kind of like, you don't have to measure anything. I'm gonna use this to put it in. So I'm just gonna fill it with fish sauce, take maybe a handful of chilies, chop it up, throw it in, you're done. But eating it with this is so good. And if you wanna take it to the next level, we're gonna do this together. I'm just trying to tell you ahead of time. I add a little splash of lemon in it. Like, you know, if you need a ratio for that, like maybe 20% lemon juice, 80% fish sauce, just like a hint of lemon.
You're holding a lime. Is it a?
Sorry,
is that,
lime.
is that a lime?
Lime.
Okay. I said.
Yeah, lime. And you could also add garlic too, but to be honest, the dish has a lot of garlic. You don't need to do it. So let's make the dipping sauce first, because it tastes the best the day of for sure. But I feel like making it ahead of time, it kind of, the flavors kind of infuse a little bit. And I have used this sauce for a few days after too, and it's fine. But so it's gonna be easy. Here's the Thai, let me grab a handful of Thai chilies. Did everybody find Thai chilies? Yeah? No? It's okay. Cool. Like I said, this is the easiest recipe because there's really no recipe besides the ingredients. I'm just gonna fill this almost all the way with fish sauce. There. Then, so for these, I do take off the stems. I don't de-seed them. I like them with the seeds. Let's say I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I mean, they're all different sizes, so don't stress too much about exact measurements. It's not gonna make a huge difference if you put a little bit more, a little bit less. That's actually the kind of the beauty of cooking these dishes yourself. You can make it exactly how you like it. I'm gonna start with this many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna chop them into little slices. You could just smash them and throw them in. If you do it that way, you're gonna get a really spicy mouthful if you get a whole chili in your mouth, but I'm just gonna chop them pretty thin. I like it thin.
Are the red ones the same, or should I not?
Yeah, the red ones and the green ones are basically the same. I think the green ones feel spicier to me. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're essentially the same. The green ones eventually turn red too. Yeah, so let's throw this in. Let's see how much. You know, I'm gonna throw some more. It doesn't matter too much because you're gonna fish out as much chili as you want or as little chili as you want.
Is this the only part of the recipe that calls for the chilies?
I'm gonna throw a few in the paste too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so let me add like 4 more. I don't know. And be careful if you don't wear gloves. Like I'm not. If you use the bathroom or rub your eyes or something, it will burn, but you'll be okay. All right, so I don't know. That looks pretty good to me. You could even add more chilies. Oh, sorry, like that. And then I'm gonna just add, for lime, I'm just gonna add probably this much. I mean, like I said, about 20% lime juice. It's optional. Don't worry if you don't have it. It's good without it. But it's kind of like that thing, you don't want to taste, you don't want it to taste like, oh wow, this is a very limey sauce with some fish sauce. You want it to taste like fish sauce and chilies with something extra. So, oh man, woo. Yeah, take a taste of that when you're done. So we're done with the accompanying sauce. Let me know when you guys are ready for round 2, which would be the paste. I'm gonna make the paste next. You good? All right.
How much garlic are you calling for later, JP?
Oh yeah, good question. Again, it's up to you, but I'm cooking about a pound of meat. That's usually what I do. Even if I'm gonna cook more for more people, I always do 1 pound at a time. So that's another general tip I have for you. Don't overcrowd your pan. Try to do small batches. If you put too much in, it's gonna cool down your wok and it's not gonna be good. So for a pound of meat, I'm gonna put at least like almost like a half a head of garlic. Or maybe, I don't know. I'll show you. I also have a scale if you want me to weigh things and tell you, or I don't know. I don't cook like that, but if you need more exact measurements. So actually, yeah, here we can. So for as far as ginger, and actually I'm probably gonna do, let's see. I measure with my eyes, so it's not like I know exactly. Probably gonna do about this much garlic and this much ginger. So more garlic than ginger. But imagine like this much in a pound of meat. Like if you want it more garlicky, you can certainly add more garlic or ginger. And what I like to do to speed this up, cut off the ends of your garlic, cloves. Don't peel it yet. And if you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can just stop at this step as well. But we're gonna crush the garlic because you want to release the oil in the garlic more than just like chopping it fine. So this is the easiest way to peel it, as well as get the flavor good. Just put a knife, smash it, peel comes right off. And then you have semi-smashed garlic. I would chop it roughly if you're not going to put it in a mortar and pestle, but I am going to put it in a mortar and pestle. And then let me show you the ratio of chilies too. So that's important. That's kind of how I measure. I don't measure measuring spoons and measuring cups and stuff, but I measure kind of by ratios. So here's my garlic to ginger ratio. I'm going to, if you can't handle spicy, do less, but probably gonna add, sorry, I'm trying to find the bigger ones. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm cooking for my family. They can't really handle it too spicy, so I'm gonna add about this. So almost like equal parts ginger, chilies, I guess. Maybe a little less chilies. Sorry, I know that's vague. But use your judgment, hopefully.
Dude, I just cut the shit out of my finger on that thing.
Oh no.
It's bad.
Oh shit.
I'm just kidding, it's ketchup.
Oh, you God, you had this. Oh my God.
Like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, can you guys call the ambulance for me?
I know. Like, wait, we want to see eat that blood now.
Oh wow. You got me.
Oh my God. Ooh.
Okay, so
Oh my God. Ooh.
oh yeah. My heart stopped for a second. That was really bad.
How's it going?
So for the paste, I'm gonna roughly chop this. For the mortar and pestle people, a general tip: put in your driest ingredients into the mortar and pestle first. We're doing a rough paste. This does not have to be. This is not a fine curry paste. So actually, you know what? I'm just gonna throw everything in. This is a rough paste. We don't have to do an order. Throw everything in. Like I said, for people not using mortar and pestle, just kind of smash your chili, smash your garlic, and then roughly chop it. But the reason I like, smashing it basically instead of just cutting it, is because it releases a lot of the oils from the ingredients, and it's just a different. I think I mean, if I cooked it both ways, who knows if I'd be able to tell for sure. But this is definitely more the traditional way too. Sorry, it's gonna take me a minute. Although when I make a curry paste, it's a good 45 minutes of doing this because it has to be super smooth. It smells good. Sorry for the noise. Should I mute myself? Okay. And if you do have a mortar and pestle, it's not like a hammer. Like you're not trying to just hammer it in. You kind of, this thing is, I bought a bigger one too. I mean, this came with a smaller handle. Not that you need to see it, but this is what it came with, so I bought a bigger one. You're using kind of the weight of it to, you're kind of lifting it up and letting the gravity do some of the work. Next, we're gonna chop, if you have green beans or long beans or chilies, red chilies, to make it look pretty. We're gonna cut that next, so you could get that ready if you want. All right, I think it's pretty good. I'll show you. It's pretty rough, but decently smashed. So I'm just gonna leave it in here. Let me know if I'm going too quick for anybody.
Would a cheese grater work?
I've seen people use micro planes or whatever they're called, a grater. People use, food processor. Yeah, it would work. Again, maybe just, that wouldn't be too bad, especially the grater would probably release a lot of the oils and stuff. Oops, I forgot to wash these. So who's using long beans or green beans? Anybody? Cool. Nice. All right. So I bought some new ones. These ones came out. These ones are a little nicer than the last ones I had. I'm not going to take a screenshot for the video and post it of this because the last video I did, I'm like, why am I holding that thing? We're going to cut these. I'm not going to use this whole bunch for 1 pound of meat. I'm probably going to use half. So let's see. Or if you're using green beans. By the way, I never used to make it with any of this stuff. I used to make it purely meat and herbs. I'm washing this real quick. Thanks. And it's good like that. Like you don't have to put vegetables. I don't know if you guys watch that Uncle Jerry guy. He's kind of annoying, but he's like, why are you people always putting so many vegetables in your food? I feel that way sometimes too, especially when I go to, oh, wow, that was fast, thanks. When I go to a Thai restaurant that I feel like is catering to Westerners, they'll put like baby corn and like bell peppers and like, that's not to, if you like that, because you like those things, fine, but that's not really how it is in Thailand. So let me do this real quick. Let me get another bowl. You need a lot of bowls when you do this. So if you are doing the green beans or long beans, cut off the ends. They're kind of gross. I'm just gonna cut them off. I like things very bite size. So I like the least amount of effort, shovel it into my mouth and eat it. And with stir fries, everything should already be kind of bite size. So this is how I'm cutting it. You can cut your green beans similarly. This actually might even be more than I need, but. Let's see. This is that. Yeah, I may not even throw this much, but we'll see. All right. I think I got smaller as I went towards the end. I'm making a mess. Okay. Next thing is chilies or peppers or whatever you have. I have these. I'm adding them mostly for color. These are spicier than I thought. So I cut off the ends with any chili. And then I'm just gonna cut there's a few ways you could do it. Want to be fancy, you could cut it at an angle. Looks kind of cool. I also don't de-seed anything. Just use it like this. Or you could just cut it straight. You don't have to cut it at an angle. I just think it looks nicer at an angle. Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I may or may not put all of this in it. It seems a little bit much. Maybe half to 3/4 of that, but we'll see. Let me get another bowl. All right, next. Oh, there's some dry spices. Cumin and coriander, those are completely optional. I just recently started putting them in because a friend of mine recommended, like, oh, you could try putting that in. I know some places use black pepper, some places use white pepper. But I think with pork, especially, I'm using ground pork. Cumin is really good with ground pork. And then the coriander, I'm gonna just grind this real quick.
You're putting this to paste, JP?
You can. I was gonna say, yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna not add it to the paste or to the sauce. We need to make the sauce next too. Sorry, I forgot about that. You could add it there, but a lot of recipes, before you use a dry spice, you're supposed to put it in a hot pan and toast it until it kind of reactivates the spices. Like right now, I can smell it, but it doesn't smell that strong. But you put it in a pan, toast it, you'll start to smell it again. It reactivates the thing. We're gonna add this while we're frying the meat in oil. So it's kind of gonna fry in the oil before we add the sauce. So I think that's good enough. So I like to keep it separate for that reason. I like to fry my spices in the oil.
Do you have like an approximation of how much of each, like teaspoon?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. So I don't have, like I said, I don't really have real measuring spoons, but if this is, we call this a teaspoon and this a tablespoon, I'd probably put like half, let's see, about half a teaspoon. Sorry, let me get it, of coriander. Sorry. Let's see. Maybe it's a little more than half, kind of heaping half. And about the same amount of cumin. My coriander is not pre-ground, so I'm just going to grind it real quick. My cumin is pre-ground. I have another another mortar and pestle, but this is actually Mateo's. He likes to, but actually this kind is perfect for grinding spices, but not for making curry paste. When I first started cooking Thai food 20 years ago, I tried making curry paste in these little things. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. Don't bother. But for spices, it's great. So next we're gonna make, I'll just give you a heads up, we're gonna make the sauce. And for the people that did the pad see ew, it's either the same exact sauce or almost the same sauce. I think I added slightly different ratios last time, but now I use the same exact sauce for pad see ew as I do for this dish. And that's gonna be oyster sauce, soy sauce, and dark soy sauce. All right, I'm gonna even leave the coriander a little bit rough. And let's see, this is about how much cumin I'm using. But I like cumin. Again, leave it out if you don't like cumin, or put less or more. So that's ready to go. And our sauce. So the sauce, I almost always, all the time, have a jar of this sauce in my fridge because it does not go bad. You don't even have to put it in the fridge, really, although it does have oyster sauce. And every time I make the sauce, I make more than I need because I'd rather have extra and then be stir frying and being like, oh, I ran out. Like, you know, it's too late at that point. And it lasts forever, and you can use it for pâte siu or this dish. So the ratios for one, okay, first of all, this is for 1 pound of meat, which is what I always cook. For 1 pound of meat, the ratios are 1 part sugar, 1 part oyster sauce, 1 part dark soy sauce, and then 2 parts soy sauce. So basically you just have to remember twice as much soy sauce as everything else. Everything else is equal. Super easy, super easy. So I'm gonna make it now on camera. I'm gonna make it in this. Let's do the sugar first since our spoons are dry. So I usually almost always double or triple this. Yeah, I'm gonna double it. So I'll put 2 tablespoons of sugar. Don't worry, this is for a whole pound of meat is 1 tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. If you don't have it, not a huge deal. This is mostly for color. It is a little bit sweet, but it'll make it darker. And if you put too much, it gets way too dark. And so I just do 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. This is the Thai stuff, so it's sweet. If you don't have the Thai stuff, you could put a little bit more sugar if you want. Some people don't like their meat that sweet, but I do. And then so 4 tablespoons of regular soy sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should be enough for 2 pounds of meat.
Is that right? So 1 sugar, 1 dark, 1 oyster, 2 regular. Is that what
Yes.
the ratio was? Okay.
Yeah, equal parts, everything except for regular soy sauce, you put twice as much. I
Cool.
should have just said that. It's easier. And mix it good. And before we put it in, mix it again because the sugar might not be dissolved. But... Okay, let me see. We're getting.
All right, this is a dumb question, but has anyone had a top like this? Because I don't know how to open it.
Oh.
It's literally impossible.
Maybe, can you just stick a knife in it and like turn it? But
Yeah,
be careful.
So watch your fingers, don't get.
Oh yeah.
God.
Let me get the ketchup out real quick.
Yeah. Are you setting us up for a prank?
Wait, it doesn't twist open, and there's like a.
It doesn't twist.
Oh.
Stressed.
Hmm.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay.
I can wait a second. I'm looking at my notes. Anyways, okay, so yeah, I think we're ready to cook it. So you could just start putting everything by the stove. Get everything ready. You want it like quickly accessible. Helping. Oh, Amaya's here. Bring mine over. Oh, can I? Okay, sauce. You don't need the accompanying sauce by the stove. You need that at the table. Amaya just came in, so
Is that the sauce we just made?
the first sauce we made with the fish sauce and chilies.
Oh, got it.
Anyways, this is my wife Sue and Amaya.
Say
Hi.
Shock.
She's always so cute when she's on, like, when you even have her like on a stand-up meeting or something like that.
She's very smiley normally, but yeah, I think she's in awe of the screen. Or something.
Hi.
Hi, she just started crawling yesterday for the first
Aw.
time.
Awesome.
Okay, so yeah, I think I got everything over here. Let me move the camera. Oh, her nose is runny. Okay, sorry. Okay. I have too much oil in here. So is everybody doing ground meat? Okay, cool. That makes it easier. Just because the cooking time and stuff will be similar. I've done it with different things before, but 99% of the time I do it with ground meat. This time I actually chopped it myself because I did it once like that and I actually really liked the texture of it. So before we start, I'll go over it one more time. First, we're gonna put the wok on like a medium heat, not too high. Throw the paste in. Sorry, I gotta get something. We're gonna throw the paste in and keep stirring. I mean, I'm assuming this applies to other things besides woks, but you keep stirring so it doesn't burn. But you're gonna start to really smell the garlic and chilies, and if you make it really spicy, you'll probably start to cough because of the chilies, but I don't make it that spicy. And then once you kind of really smell it, then you can go ahead, put the meat. We're gonna stir fry that till it's like 50% cooked maybe. Throw in the spices, keep stir frying it till it's about maybe 70 or 80% cooked. Then throw the vegetables in. I don't like them too mushy. Cook the meat till it's, oh wait, sorry. Before we throw in the vegetables, we're gonna throw in the sauce, then the vegetables, cook it, and then when we're done, we turn it off and then throw in our basil. So, is everybody ready? Good? All right, let's do it. So I'm turning the oven on kind of a medium heat. I should have got this ready, but as long as you don't, in general, we want our pan, especially a wok, as hot as possible. I know if you're using a nonstick pan, you don't want it to get above a certain temperature. It's kind of nasty, but once we start adding stuff, like the meat and stuff, it does cool the temperature down. So it's probably safe to turn it high once you put the meat in. So this is a very heavy thing. Throw my paste in, try to get it so you can see. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. I think oil is your friend in this dish. Like, I like it oily, so don't be afraid. Sorry, I gotta turn the fan on. Keep stirring. It not only cooks the garlic a little bit, but it flavors the oil too. So if you've ever made chili oil before, I used to think it was just oil and chilies, but it's not. You basically boil garlic and green onions and Szechuan peppercorn, star anise, ginger in the oil for a long time, and then you drain it out and you throw all that stuff away, and then your oil smells amazing and has all the flavor of the ingredients. So that's partially what we're doing here. trying to get the oil. We're trying to cook this, but we're trying to get the oil kind of flavored. Remember, if it is burning, turn it down or keep stirring it. You don't want to burn the garlic a lot. It's okay if I have burned it a little bit. It's fine. All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead, add my meat, and then once I add the meat, I'm gonna crank it all the way to high. So I did take my meat out, but it is a little bit cold still. That is a tip. Just in general, oh, okay, I smell the chili, is as soon as you throw in some cold meat into your hot pan, it cools way down. So I just turned my stove all the way to high as it goes, because it does not get hot enough to really do this. I can't do restaurant style in this stove. On my other burner I can, but most people don't have that. I didn't even have that other burner until this year, so I've always just used the home stove. So again, we're gonna cook this until it's about 50% done, not so much pink. Again, keep stirring it. Get it on high, but keep stirring it, breaking it up. Also, I should have warned you, I always keep a little glass of water next to the stove. If it starts to stick or burn, or instead of turning it down, I usually just pour a little water on the edge of the wok, and it'll loosen it right up. Speaking of pouring around the wok, one thing that a lot of people do when they're cooking with a wok is when they add the sauce, they don't just pour it in the middle of the wok. That's actually the coolest part of the wok. The outside is hotter than the middle. They pour it around the edge of the wok, because it kind of sears it a little bit or caramelizes it or whatever. As long as your pan is really hot, so it changes the flavor of the sauce a little bit. It's not a huge deal. You can't do that. All right, so mine is looking about 50%, I think. I'm gonna add in my dry spices next. So it's about 1 tablespoon total. Half coriander seed, half cumin. Again, you could do white pepper, black pepper, whatever you want. Not whatever you want, but there's a lot of variations on this thing. There's even recipes that use Thai chili jam, which I tried, because I make that too, and I didn't really like it as much, but it's another, I guess, common thing. If any of you know Mark Wiens, the food blogger, he has a restaurant in Bangkok. Now, he's not a cook, but he's just a food blogger. And all they serve is this dish in like 2 or 3 different kinds. That's it. So, but he uses like 6 different types of chilies and like white pepper, black pepper, I don't know, a lot of different stuff. All right, so this is looking about, I don't know, 70% done. I'm gonna stir my sauce. And so let's see, we added about 4 or 5 tablespoons is what I normally do. Oh, I forgot to do it around the edge. Look at me. 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna add 5 tablespoons. You can see the color change because of that dark soy sauce. And the regular soy sauce too, but mostly because of the dark soy sauce. Okay, here's one thing that bothers me about low heat stoves is that you get a lot of, I don't know if you can see that, a lot of moisture pooling at the bottom, which I'm not trying to make soup, so I hate that. So what I usually do is scoop it out and just keep, pouring it around the edge of the wok. It'll evaporate some of it away. You hear it like sizzling. I like to do that. How's everybody doing? Okay? All right, cool.
Hey, JB, if I'm not going to add any more vegetables, should I just take it off the heat now?
Yeah, once it's cooked through, turn it off,
Yeah.
throw your basil in, and stir it until it kind of wilts a little. You don't want to cook the basil on heat. It has enough residual heat to cook it enough, to wilt it enough. But if you cook it too much, it turns black, it turns mushy, it doesn't look nice, it doesn't taste as good. So yeah, turn off the heat. Mine is, oh yeah, so at this point I'm probably gonna add the vegetables because mine's getting actually pretty cooked. I'm using a fatty piece of meat, so it's harder to overcook it than if you use a lean piece, so I'm not too worried. Let's see, I'm gonna add, screw it, I'm gonna add all the long beans. Just keep mixing and incorporating. I like my vegetables kind of al dente anyway, so I'm not gonna cook the crap out of it. I'm just gonna cook it enough. By the way, if you do have a wok, you don't have one of these wok spatulas, I highly recommend it. It's so good. I usually prefer the ones with the wooden handle, but I left mine at a friend's house, so I had to use this one. I just like to keep turning it, like stirring it. You can see a lot of the moisture has actually, well, not all of it, but a lot of it has evaporated.
I just have to pick them up, my rig. Yeah, I can deliver them to you. I can tweet tag.
Sorry? What'd you say?
Oh, shit, sorry. I'm talking to my sister. I'm just giving her the dog.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Thank you.
If you feel like everything is cooked, feel free to turn it off. I'm gonna cook down a little bit longer. Like I said, I'm not too worried about overcooking this. I don't think it's gonna overcook. And I think I put a little bit more than 1 pound of meat in here, but I would not put more than this in your pan or wok, especially if you have a smaller pan. You could even do half pounds at a time if you want. All right. I would say 1 more minute. I'm going to turn it off. Add my basil. I didn't have to use my water this time, but okay. It's good. All right, I'm gonna turn my heat off. So I'm adding a lot of basil because it always looks more than it is once it's cooked. And I know you don't have any basil handy. It's probably still good, but I'm sure it's still good. It's just missing this one thing. But add it in and just keep stirring until they're all kind of wilted. It always seems like I'm putting too much until I get it all incorporated, and then it's not too much. Do you want to get 2 plates with some rice? And you can plate it. Oh yeah. Crap. Just fell off. All right, it's pretty good. Smells good.
Rice on the side.
Oh yeah. Thank you. All right. So try to get an even mix. Everything. So rice, and then stir fry, and then yeah, thanks. Sorry for the delay. And I'm gonna put an egg. Which one's this? Put an egg, and you're done. Wait, actually, you're not done. You need the sauce. So the fish sauce, like I said, thanks, really, 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 really adds a lot to this dish. Even though it's already got soy sauce and dark soy sauce and oyster sauce, the fish sauce, without it, it doesn't taste as Thai to me. And the last thing I'm gonna say, for those, if you haven't heard my rant before, so Thai people primarily use the spoon and the fork as their main utensils. The spoon is the main utensil. The fork is to get it onto the spoon. You don't eat this with chopsticks. Most dishes in Thailand, you do not eat with chopsticks. If you're having a noodle soup, you have like a soup spoon and chopsticks. Most of the time, fork and spoon. So if we ever go to a Thai restaurant together, oh yeah, I've heard that. Same with Filipino too. I'm gonna make you do this. So I'm gonna move over to my table because I think I am done. Are there any other questions, or did anybody have any problems that they need troubleshooting? Did anybody try theirs yet? No? Let's try it. I'm gonna go sit down and take a bite. Can you bring that sauce for me, please?
Sorry, JP, how many spoons of that sauce?
I'm sorry?
How many spoons of the sauce do you put in with the soy sauce and stuff? Was it 4 spoons that you put in?
I think I put 5.
5, okay.
You can put more. It's not an exact science. Like I said, it's not like baking where you have to be really precise. Yeah, I should take a photo though.
I was gonna say, yeah, show your plate. I would love to see it right now.
Here we go. Here, let me try to do this.
Yeah.
That's what mine looks like. Anybody else want to show off yours?
Wow.
Did anybody try it?
Not yet. I have to microwave my rice again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, now you can watch me eat. Just kidding.
You can give like tasting notes, like when you take a bite, just tell us like what are you tasting and what we should be tasting.
Well, you should definitely taste the garlic and chilies, and the fish sauce when you put this on, man. I love this. So this sauce, sometimes I just make it and keep it in the fridge. It doesn't taste great a few days later, although I have still eaten it a few days later. But almost any kind of meat, or I don't know, what else do we put it on? Any kind of meat. Spoon this on.
Put on omelet,
Oh yeah, on eggs, omelets,
noodles.
sometimes occasionally noodles. But like I said, this is like the simplest Thai recipe that tastes so Thai. Just fish sauce and chilies. Cool. Well,
AP, did you season your egg?
No, I did not. I just fried it. But I'm gonna put a healthy dose of this fish sauce on it, so it'll be well seasoned, well, very flavorful. Yeah, was there any? Let me look at my notes. I think I hit everything. Yeah, if you guys ever want to come over, I will cook it on my different burner, and you can taste, or we could do a taste test. This for the stovetop versus that. The main difference I've noticed when I cook with the high BTU burner is, besides it cooking faster, it's less sauce pooling at the bottom of the wok. And if you get it hot enough, it almost tastes a little bit charred, which I like a smoky kind of flavor. I can't do the wok like some of these guys. They can like move the pan and the flame, like the sauce kind of flies in the air over the flames and it catches on fire for a split second. And that's supposed to add a lot of, it's called wok, like smoky flavor. Can't do that. I tried it, made a mess, but it does change the flavor a little bit. All right, well, Vivian, I know you joined late. Is there anything else you needed? Okay. If she's probably busy cooking. If I guess I'll sign off unless anybody had anything else.